I'm Dr. Jeffrey Fannin. I'm a neuroscientist, and I've been working with people for 30 years in helping them to make a personal transformation in their life. All of us want to be better than we are. We want to be smarter. We want to be happier. We want to be more than enough. And so I want to tell you a couple of stories here. One is about a guy named Ryan. And as I was working with a group of real estate agents and looking from the outside in at Ryan, you would say, this guy is really successful. He was in the upper 1% of real estate agents in his state that he was living in. But he had a personal concept. He wanted to take on bigger projects, but he wasn't sure whether he could do that or not. So he came to me and he said, I understand this is what you do. So we started working together and I started changing his self-concept, or what I call mini concepts, because we all have a lot of mini concepts that we're trying to change about ourselves. One is, I'm smart. I'm not so smart. I'm tall. I'm not so tall. I can do this and I cannot do that. So all of these mini concepts, are the things that make up our self-concept. So as we began to change the many concepts in Ryan's life, he began to take on bigger projects. He began to make more money. He began to have a happier life. Even though he was very busy, he was able to keep control of those things. This is not uncommon. These are the kinds of things that I've got lots and lots of stories that I'll share with you. But let me tell you a little bit about Abby. Abby was in high school when I first met her and started working with her. She was having a lot of difficulties socializing with other people. She found it very hard, when you're sitting in classroom, and maybe some of you remember this, I know I do, that you're sitting in class and the teacher asks a question and you don't want to raise your hand and say, yeah, I know the answer. Well, it wasn't because she didn't know the answer. The issue was she did know the answers, but she was afraid to raise her hand. She had some self-concepts that were holding her back. And so as I began to work with her and she began to interact with her classmates, she began to interact with the teacher began to interact with her, her grades began to improve. She was able to have more friends and socialize more. And so her circle of influence began to grow and grow and grow until she finally was able to bring her grades up enough where she got on the principal's honor list. So, I'll share more of these stories with you as we move along, but I want you to pay attention to the Thought Genius podcast, because I have a lot of topics that I really want to share with you. And this is the place that we do that, is at the Thought Genius podcast. So I'll look forward to sharing more with you later.